It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Vancouver, British Columbia, and because I'm going to my own junior hockey broadcast, I actually can't watch the Canucks game. So instead, I'm talking about something that's been the hot topic as of late for my second favorite team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mitch Marner. Is he worth $10+ million? And the reason we're bringing this up is because of a few things, actually. First off, on Sportsnet Hockey Night in Canada, yesterday, Saturday night, it was actually brought up from Nick Kypreos, the fact, or the idea, or the assumption that the Maple Leafs' initial number to sign Mitch Marner back in the offseason was $9 million a season. And $9 million a season for 8 years, so a total of $72 million over the span of 8 years. And that was the discussion point back in the offseason. And that was the discussion point for a Mitch Marner who got 69 points in 82 games as a 21-year-old. And now, in this season of NHL play 2018-19, Mitch Marner is a 22-year-old who's at 58 points in 48 games. If you do the math, that is a 108-point pace, which is absolutely phenomenal. It is a complete step above what Marner was at last year. It's a complete step above of what people thought Marner would be this year. The only person who has a better points per game average than Marner is Austin Matthews. He has a 109-point pace over the span of 82 games. It's just that Matthews wasn't playing for a lot of it. And Matthews' contract is actually expiring too. But everybody kind of knows that Matthews is going to be in that 10.5-ish range. Mitch Marner, on the other hand, was not supposed to be in a conversation like this. Yet, his play on the ice has shown that he certainly should be. And now he is. Because Sid 6-0 also came out on Tim and Sid, had a really long rant talking about how Marner is probably worth the money and why he should be at that $10+ million range too. Now obviously, there's the whole connotation about the Leafs because, well, they just signed Nylander to 6'9". If they got Nylander for 6'9", which is good enough for Fifi, Gummo, Billy, Gotti, and some prison time, then a guy like Marner should certainly not settle for something like 9. That was the whole perspective that was brought up on the Tim and Sid show, and overall, I think if you take a look at it just on a contractual level amongst the other players in the league, it's really easy to agree and actually say, yeah, I mean, there's nothing that Marner has done that shows that he's not worth something like 10+. The only bad thing is, we just didn't expect him to be up there. We didn't expect him to get this good this quickly, because in his contract year, 2018-19, it's really putting the Leafs in a weird spot, because they can't go forward anymore with that $9 million conversation. They kind of have to put it up at a little bit more, because $72 million for Marner today just doesn't seem all too good enough. And that's crazy to say, because 72 for Marner last year was like, yeah, that's about right, maybe a little bit far-fetched, but that's about right, right? And now he's just been so good that you can't ignore it anymore. And the fact that he's always in the lineup day in and day out, he can't get hurt because he's always really shifty. It's just incredible, the fact that Marner is this good this quickly. There was this whole debate going about, talking about if Matthews deserved to be paid $1.5 million plus more than Mitch Marner. And I think everybody can agree that Matthews is the better hockey player, but Mitch Marner is just overall the better offensive threat. He's the better skills guy, and the better passer, setter-upper kind of guy. So I think it's fair to say that they each have their own qualities that separate them from the other, but taking a look at Cap Friendly and checking out guys by AAV, taking a look at the $9 million mark, you got guys like Evgeny Malkin and Jamie Benn at 9.5. Ovechkin Let's not talk about Ovechkin, he was on a really different contract from a different time. Jack Eichel is at 10, Kopitar is at 10, Patrick Kane's at 10.5, Taves is at 10.5, Tavares is at 11, McDavid is at 12.5. Does Marner not belong in that kind of list? Matthews is going to be on that list by the time next year rolls around. But Marner? I'd say that he probably deserves to be paid at the same level, or even higher than a lot of the guys that we just talked about. So overall, I think the answer to the question is, it depends. Because Marner, if he continues at this pace and he gets 108 points, for sure he's not settling for 9. Especially if he's going for an 8-year deal. If he's getting 9, then that means that he's going only for a short-term deal. Because Mitch Marner today, who's only 21, and has the potential to be so much more than he is right now, which is scary, he's not going to settle for 9 over the span of 8 years. And overall, this is just leading to more problems, but at the same time, it's fine because the Leafs are getting goals and Marner's getting points, right? It's a good problem to have in the eyes of some, but at the same time, the Leafs are just going to have to move everything around to compensate for that because nobody expected Marner to be this good anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed this Redditor Plus /9 Gaming, and bye.